Hello everyone, welcome back to Quicks14Blog, Quicks14 here, coming up with a little bit of a special here. Not too much of a special, but we're kind of deviating from where we are, getting rid of some of this old footage as I've upgraded my system. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity to show you guys about Sons of Hodir. So before I get a little information about what Sons of Hodir is and why we would care, let me go ahead and explain where we're at. We're at the K7 facility or something like that up in Storm Peaks. It's very easy to get to. It's not too far. You just make your way through Crystal Forest where there's an opening and you'll find it right there. If you don't have flying, if you are lower level and you don't have flying yet, or a flyer at all, you can actually pick up a flyer there, not really a taxi flyer, but a loaner that allow you to fly around in order to make sure you can actually do the quests here in Storm Peaks. So just a tip on that. When we come back here to Storm Peaks to do quests, I will also mention it again, but just FYI. What we're focusing on here is, of course, Sons of Hodir quests and the quest line to get it open. Sons of Hodir does not show up as a rep on there. It's actually something you have to go through a quest line to actually open it up. It's phased here in Storm Peaks. So you actually pick it up at K7. The quest that you're going to be after here is the K3 equipment is one of the quests, and also the Goblin prisoners. Now it doesn't matter if you do them both, but I would go ahead and do them both here because they are relevant and because they are in the same place, and as you phase it's going to change, so you might as well do them both while you're here. Go ahead and turn them both in, and then you will really start to get your first real quests in order to pick things up. That's going to send you back to the camp. You're going to actually go inside the area here and you will find her and be able to talk to her. And this is what's really going to kick things off for the Sons of Hodir quest. Pretty simple. The entrance to this cavern is in the same place that we just flew up to get those first two things. You just got to go a little further into the camp there and you will see it into the mountain to your right-ish, or to the east. Big opening. A few guys in there, right in there. She's right on the very entrance area, that little alcove that you saw. And you're pretty much going to be doing a lot of quests from her right now. So Sons of Hodir, for those who do not know, the big deal about these guys, and the reason a lot of raiders need to go through this and get this done, is even though it is pretty easy now, or a lot easier in order to get rep for these guys, the benefit of getting rep for Sons of Hodir is as simple as this. They are the place to go for shoulder enchants. So the only place to go for shoulder enchants, actually. Doesn't matter what class spec you are. If you're in the raiding scene and you're whether it's casual or hardcore, everyone's going to tell you, you need to go Sons of Hodir, you need to do those quests and get your shoulder enchants. I have been putting it off for a long time, as most of you know, and I haven't had it, so I finally went ahead and did it. And that's what this is. This is actually pretty old footage. As you can see, I don't even have Carbonite yet, but Carbonite will help you a little bit with this if you have it. It'll make it a little easier to find. Following the right quest chain isn't that hard. It is a fairly long quest chain, so if you're going to do this, even if you're level 80, expect at least probably an hour, maybe more, in order to complete the quest chain, because it is pretty long and there is a lot to it. Once you have the quest chain done, you actually have the Sons of Hodir rep. You'll have to actually get the rep because you're going to start pretty low. They do have quests and dailies that you can do, which will give you a ton of rep, but the easiest solution, of course, is to go ahead and get Sons of Hodir actual commendations, which of course you can buy with your emblems, which is from of course with the emblem vendor, or even easier is get your hands on some relics of Uldar. If you've been running randoms and stuff lately anyway, you probably picked up quite a bit. I know I had a ton, and you'll see that I actually got a lot of my rep first from that, and then kind of finished it off with some of the basics. You can also buy relics of Uldar off the auction house. The prices will vary, usually not too high. They're definitely not as high as they used to be, depending on their availability. Once you're done with the set of quests inside that dungeon and everything, she will go ahead and go outside to the next camp, so you just follow your way out on the opposite end and you're going to go to this camp, and this is where you're going to start really building up repertoire with these guys. Now it's important to remember, these are Vercruels. These are not the Sons of Hodir that you're actually building rep for. This is stuff leading up to it. So it's very quest intensive. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of story here about what you're doing. So, if you're a lore freak, you should enjoy this quite a bit. Now, I wasn't going to show these until I actually got to Storm Peak and started doing Storm Peak quests, but since it is such an important thing, and a lot of people are not sure where to start for Sons of Hodir, I know I wasn't. I actually had to look a lot of this up of exactly what quest I was after for to get up to it on Wowhead. I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you guys, and I really wanted to clear out as much of this old footage as possible, because with my new system I have a much higher resolution and a much higher quality of gameplay, and I wanted to try to clear out as much of this old footage as possible so I don't have to switch between resolution footage that much. You'll probably see that when we get back to our Grizzly Hills quests later on, that there will be a little switching of footage, and of course the resolution will be much different, but that's unavoidable, unfortunately. But for here, this is something I figured I can go ahead and do for you guys. Get out there and get a WoW vlog out there, because it has been a little while. So what we're doing here is we're picking up different quests, basically different tasks in order to prove yourselves to these villagers, become a champion, etc. is basically what you're doing. She's gonna have you kill one of those guys, and I'll actually free one of your people that you were after, and then you're gonna go back to her. She's gonna have you do it again, kill about 6 of them, or defeat, sorry, about 6 of them. There's also some other quests to pick up. Go ahead and pick them up. You can always do them later, and then you'll be sent out over here into this area. You talk to her, she's going to let you hop onto her bear there, and you are actually going to do a little, it's kind of a chain quest here. So what's going to happen is you have these giants, you also have the wolves, and you're going to have to target them with your flames in order to burn them. It takes a little getting used to. Targeting them can be a little difficult. It's not too hard, really. Just find a good area and try to. It can take a little bit, but it's really not too hard. And obviously, if you do miss some, I know I did on my first trip, that you can always run through it again. So not a big deal. The Frostworks can be a little difficult to get the timing on, because they move a lot faster than the Frost Giants do. And I did have to run through it again. I'm not going to show you that footage, but I did run through it again to get the last little few that I was missing. And then you can go ahead and turn that in, and she'll send you back, I believe, if I remember correctly, to the peeps to talk to. And of course, one of those quests you got was actually this. This is a little confusing, but you head down to this area, hop on one of the frost worms here, or proto-drakes, and what you're going to do is you're supposed to break out the guys that are in the ice blocks. Now the frost giants are going to throw basically ice blocks and snowballs at you, and you will take damage. There's no healing or anything, so you are kind of in concert here. You can hold up to 3 prisoners, one on behind you and one in each claw. You can see one kind of hanging. Once you have them, I got a little confused, but all you have to do is just start heading back towards the camp, or to the village. The proto-drake automatically, like it says, smells its freedom, and it's all taxi from here. It'll take over, and it'll drop them off. Go ahead and make sure you fill out all 3 spots if you can, depending upon your proto-drake's health. He's got quite a bit to start with, so it shouldn't be too difficult. First time you might I know I died because I wasn't paying attention, and it's a little more difficult, and it was my first time and I was a little confused. But once you've got it, you know, got all 3 of them, you can head back and do it again, and it'll make it much quicker if you do all 3. Once you're done with that, go ahead and go back to the chick with the bear, talk to her, turn that in. She will give you another quest deemed worthy, and then you're going to go back and talk to not to our good friend that we talked to before, but actually the like leader or whatever. She's kind of in this other hut down here at the very end. You can see I'm trying to find her, but she's not in that one. She's in the other one. James, come on, focus, quick. There we go. And you're going to come in here, you're going to talk to her, and she's going to give you another set of tasks to prove you're worthy in order to continue this. Like I said, a lot of quests, a lot of stuff doing. Obviously, this is really sped up and cut pretty greatly. So, like I said, expect at least an hour, maybe 2, depending upon your class. to run through these quests and get them done. The first quest she's going to have you do is go after some Yetis to get after drops. The drop rate on those Yeti hides was fair. You're going to be killing quite a few of them in order to get it, but it's not too bad where it's atrocious. Once you turn that in, she's going to send you into a cave in order to kill some worms, and you're also going to be looking for a bear of some sort as well. That's the two quests you get here. And I'll show you the worms as we go out of this part, and of course in part 2 we'll pick it up and I'll show you the bear, and continuing on as we continue to get the Sons of Hodir rep opened up for you guys to use. And so definitely stick around. There's still some more to come. This is pretty cool stuff, and I know anyone who's been interested in raiding or getting some shoulder enchants will definitely want to see what else is up. So stay tuned.